Hello everyone, I'm Natalie and welcome back to my astrology channel. I thought I would film a video today about synastry. What it is, what it means, how people use it, what it has to do with astrology. Basically, synastry is when you put two charts of two people, different people, and you put them side by side, or you put them on top of each other, and then you see where each of the planets of each person fall into the chart of the other person. It sounds confusing, but once you see a synastry chart, it makes sense what I'm saying. So you can do that if you go to astro.com. If you use that website, where it says the natal chart wheel, you just click on that little drop down menu and then you'll pick synastry chart to see the synastry chart of the people, and you have to know the birth time of each person. If you don't know the houses, so you have to know the houses to know the synastry. So synastry basically shows how two people interact and how they affect each other, what their day-to-day relationship dynamic is like. So when you're reading synastry, you really should read aspects between planets, between the two people first. Then look at either the sign or the house. I've heard look at the sign next. I've heard look at the sign last. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But first, look at the aspect. That's the most important thing. So you can see how people act and affect each other based on where their planet falls. Say they have their sun falls into your first house, you're gonna feel like that person, the way they express themselves matches the way that you outwardly express yourself too. They might give you like a boost of confidence. It's like an ego boost. Or say like their Venus falls into your first house, that person would find you very attractive because their Venus, what they love and admire, is in your first house of appearance. So they're gonna be like, you're attractive. They're gonna admire the way that you look and present yourself. So when you read planets going into each house, you want to look at it as if it's a transit in that house, because people are like transits. That's kind of what it is. Someone else's sun, wherever it falls into your chart, that person is lighting up that house in your particular chart. It's going to make it very noticeable, the things of that house. So you want to look at the aspects too. Say your moon is conjunct someone else's moon, but say that person has their moon squaring Pluto. That means that your moon conjuncting their moon would also be squaring their Pluto. So that person with the moon square Pluto already has tendencies to be kind of difficult maybe with their emotions. So you want to watch for a tendency that that person might have to project that onto you and maybe be controlling over you, be possessive over you, be manipulative towards you. You want to look out for squares, oppositions, things like that. Also, reading synastry and even the composite chart, you can kind of see soulmates, signs of a soulmate relationship or a karmic relationship. You can see like how good y'all are gonna be together. Like say someone's sun is conjunct your moon, or your moon is conjunct someone's sun. That's actually a really good aspect to have in synastry, because it's kind of a blending of the masculine and feminine energies. It's kind of like what marriage should be made of. That's like what they say is like the ultimate marriage aspect. But there's a lot that goes into it. Like maybe if someone's planets fall into your 7th house, like their sun, whatever your ascendant is, your 7th house is the opposite of that. So if someone's sun is your 7th house, they're kind of like what you look for in a relationship already. So that's a good placement to have. Someone's sun or moon that's good, the way they are is like what you are inclined to in relationships already. So Angular houses are especially important for synastry if people's planets fall, especially personal planets, if they fall into angular houses, the 1st, the 4th, the 7th, and the 10th. Those are significant houses to us. They are the building blocks of astrology and of our charts. So people's planets falling in there, they're gonna really affect us. And I mean, there's a lot to synastry. I could literally go on forever. Water houses too, the 4th, the 8th, the 12th. People's planets falling into those houses in your chart, it's going to be deep relationships, deep, significant interactions where maybe that person is going to know things about you that other people are never going to know. They're never going to see, because the water houses are where we keep things hidden. So that's a little bit about synastry, kind of just like an introduction to it. It's basically like reading a birth chart, how you would read your own birth chart, but it's just two people. And you have to look at everything. So don't just look at someone's sun falling into your 10th house. Look at that person's sun, say that person's sun is opposite Pluto and it's also conjunct Mercury, Mars, and Venus. Take all of that into consideration, because a planet that has aspects on it isn't just a planet alone, especially if it's in a stellium or whatever it's got going on it. Take that into consideration when you are reading the synastry. And then also look at each individual chart to see how that planet is in their chart, to see how it actually plays out in the synastry. Just because you have a hard aspect in synastry, maybe if those planets in each individual chart, maybe they aren't very negatively aspected in each individual chart, they're not very challenged as much. Maybe the synastry hard aspect won't be as difficult because maybe both of those people have a little bit of awareness on how their own planet works that is aspecting the other person's planet. If that makes any sense. I feel like I'm blabbering. I hope it kind of made sense. Synastry is really interesting. You can learn a lot about why some people affect you a certain way and why this person affects you a certain way, why maybe you don't get along with this person but this person you have a really good relationship with. It's good for all kinds of relationships. You can even do it with your kids. If you're a parent, you could do it with your parents. You could see other people's relationships if you're nosy like me. Obviously do it for your romantic relationships, your friendships, anything. So synastry is really cool. Ask me questions if you need help, because synastry is probably my favorite part of astrology, and that's kind of what I want to talk about more. So just let me know if you have any questions. Let me know what you think, and thanks for watching.